Welcome back to another chilling episode of the Dark Chronicles of Time. Today, we delve into the horrifying realm of serial killers. But not just any serial killers. These are individuals who were caught by sheer accident, exposing their gruesome acts to the world. Brace yourselves for this journey into the darkest corners of human history. 10 disturbing serial killers who were caught by accident. Number 10. Leonard Lake and Charles Ng. In the early 1980s, these two sadistic killers formed a partnership that would lead to unimaginable horrors. Lake and Ng used a remote cabin as their killing ground, where they kidnapped, tortured, and murdered multiple victims. Their twisted activities went unnoticed until Lake's capture for shoplifting. Upon investigating his belongings, authorities discovered a videotape containing recordings of their heinous acts, ultimately leading to their apprehension. Number 9. Gary Ridgway. Better known as the Green River Killer for over 2 decades, Ridgway preyed upon vulnerable women in the Seattle area, leaving a trail of death in his wake. His capture came unexpectedly when DNA evidence linked him to the crimes. Ironically, Ridgway was initially a suspect but was dismissed due to an error in DNA processing. It was only years later, when advancements in technology allowed for re-evaluation, that he was finally brought to justice. Number 8. The Alphabet Killer, Joseph Naso. Between the 1970s and 1990s, Naso terrorized California, targeting women whose names corresponded with a letter of the alphabet. Despite his gruesome crimes, it was a routine traffic stop that ultimately led to his arrest. The police officer discovered suspicious items in Naso's vehicle, leading to a search of his home, where evidence linking him to the murders was found. Naso's accidental encounter with the law finally put an end to his reign of terror. Number 7. The BTK Killer, Dennis Rader. Rader's sadistic spree spanned over 3 decades, with his moniker standing for bind, torture, kill. His arrogance led him to taunt the police and media, sending letters and packages detailing his crimes. However, it was Rader's obsession with technology that ultimately led to his capture. In an attempt to communicate with authorities without getting traced, he sent a floppy disk that could be traced back to his church, resulting in his arrest. Number 6. Alexander Pichushkin, the Chessboard Killer. Pichushkin embarked on a murderous quest in Moscow, targeting the vulnerable and unsuspecting. His victims were lured into a forested area, where he would brutally bludgeon them to death. Pichushkin's luck ran out when his last intended victim managed to escape, leaving him to be apprehended by the authorities. This accidental escape foiled his plans and led to the exposure of his dark, twisted game. Number 5. Pedro Lopez, the Monster of the Andes. Active in the 1970s and 1980s, Lopez was responsible for the deaths of hundreds of young girls in South America. His horrifying crimes went undetected until he was captured for attempting to abduct another victim. Interrogation revealed the magnitude of his atrocities, and Lopez's accidental arrest finally brought an end to his reign of terror. Number 4. Aileen Wuornos. Wuornos, a troubled woman with a traumatic past, turned to prostitution and subsequently became a cold-blooded killer. Her victims were primarily men who sought her services. Wuornos' murderous spree went unnoticed until she was involved in a car accident, leading to the discovery of a firearm and stolen items from her victims. This unexpected event opened the floodgates to uncovering the truth behind Wuornos' disturbing crimes. Number 3. David Parker Ray, the Toy Box Killer. Ray's horrific acts of sadism and torture unfolded within his self-built toy box trailer in New Mexico. For years, he terrorized his victims, leaving them scarred physically and mentally. Ray's reign of terror came to an accidental end when one of his intended victims managed to escape. She made it to a nearby home, where she alerted the police, leading to the exposure and arrest of this sadistic monster. Number 2. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. Ramirez spread fear throughout Los Angeles during the mid-1980s, committing a series of brutal home invasions and murders. The accidental end to his rampage came when he attempted to steal a car and was subsequently beaten by the residents. The angry mob recognized Ramirez from his infamous mugshot and held him until the authorities arrived, bringing an abrupt halt to his reign of terror. Finally, number 1, Ted Bundy. Bundy, one of the most notorious serial killers in history, managed to evade capture for years due to his cunning and charm. However, it was an unexpected routine traffic stop that eventually led to his downfall. The officer discovered suspicious items in his vehicle, ultimately connecting Bundy to multiple murders. This accidental encounter with the law unmasked the true nature of the charismatic and deceptive killer. And there you have it, 10 disturbing serial killers who were caught by accident. These chilling tales remind us that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places and that justice can come from the most fortuitous circumstances. Join us next time as we continue to uncover the darkest chapters of human history on the Dark Chronicles of Time. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time for some more of the world's darkest mysteries.